Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And in this video, I'm going to be featuring Essex, Tier 10 aircraft tech tree carrier. And this game is going to be really interesting guys. So keep watching this because I have actually got 3.1k base XP. And it's actually an arms race mood in which I basically did crazy good, damage as well as did really good comeback for my team. And this is going to be a really good tips and tactics sort of game, that how you can actually able to make your Essex effectively work for you and how you can actually able to win games. So in this case, I'm dropping this Minotaur with these rockets that can do actually pretty decent damage. Even though the Minotaur is slightly angled, I still did like 5,600 damage, and I don't have any fear whatsoever of losing these planes because they are sort of consumable based planes. They will just regen 6 of them in like particular time. Like for the region of rockets, as you can see here, it is 120 seconds. So even if you lose them, you will get all of these rocket planes back in just 2 minutes, which is really nice. So you don't have this fear of getting deplaned with these tactical squadrons. They only strike for once on a ship, unlike any other carrier in the game. Like usually carrier can strike more than once, but these are tactical squadrons, so you only are limited to drop at least once, and that's basically it. Now, it has at least one armament, which I would say is really strong, and that is torpedo bombers. Because Essex torpedo bombers, you have 4 strikes, and like in each strike you can send 4 torpedoes because every single plane has at least 2 torpedoes in payload, and they deliver 6,433 damage. So you can send 4 torpedoes on a single strike on a single ship, at least will do like 19 to 20,000 damage, which is pretty insane. So this feature, combined with the fact that you can set fires with the rockets and bombs, basically makes Essex pretty much insanely powerful. And this is a ship that is basically called as support carrier because they actually have smokes as consumable. You can basically lay a smoke for a allied ship and give them a cover for some time. On top of that, you still actually have really good firepower. Like your firepower is actually not sort of limited. Like you can still do really good damage, even though you cannot strike more than once, at least on tactical squadrons, but they actually do a lot of damage. Now, I didn't able to manage good drop on the Velos, but I will probably showcase you some of the strikes maybe in the later game, which will prove that Essex is really powerful. Actually, well, it is fun to play without a doubt. I mean, if you can do good damage to any ship in like ship class, and you can do like 10 to 15k damage on a single strike, that definitely gives some adrenaline rush as well as dopamine at the same time. And Essex is no exception. It can do really good thing. Now, as you can see here, I'm dropping Carl 14 Johann, and even though he shoot down a couple of my planes, you will still like able to see that how much I will do damage to this guy. Like I got like 10 rocket hits, 7 penetration, and it like what, 11 to 12,000 damage. That is basically almost pretty much 1/4 of the HP of that ship, or at least 1/5 of the HP, if I'm not wrong, which is really good. Now I think I lost the good drop on the Velos, and I have come up with these tactical bombs again. And by the way, these bombs actually drop 24 bombs in payload on a single strike, and I'm not sure how much I will get bomb hits on this guy. Look at that, I just got 3 bomb hits, and even though he shoot down a couple of my bombers, but that does not really matter. These are only tactical squadrons. They will just load up again in couple of minutes, maybe just like 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, and you will have them back again. So you don't have to be like having this fear of getting deplaned or something. But on the other hand, these torpedo bombers definitely need to be used pretty wisely. But even still then, it's an arms race mood, which basically means that, as you can see here, I actually get a buff which increases its survivability of the squadrons, which is insane as well. So, I mean, in arms race mood, it basically gives even more tankiness and firepower, which basically makes carriers even more stronger, unfortunately. And this is gonna be a doom for any battleship if I drop these torpedo bombers. As you can see here, I drop the torpedo bombers on this reversing Izumo, and I go behind the island for a cover, and look at that damage. Like did what, like 19,000 damage? And I just basically passed through Smolensk, Minotaur, and Izumo A. So it is insane, without a shadow of doubt. Like, these torpedo bombers are very tanky. And now I am coming up with the rockets again because I have them loaded, these tactical squadrons, and I'm gonna drop them really quickly on this Prince Rupert because he's actually trying to disengage right now. And well, you will soon be able to see that this game's gonna go in the middle of nowhere. We have lost already quite a lot of destroyers. Actually, all the destroyers right now. We have lost all 4 destroyers. We have 2 battleships, 3 cruisers, and a submarine remaining. And this game does not look good, even though Izumo finally got dead by Yodo torpedoes, which is nice. And Rupert is actually getting smoked by Shimakaze, which is also really surprising to see. But still, I get some, like 2 rockets, because Rupert is just running away and he got in smoke. So I didn't aim well. So that's the reason why Rupert get away with this. But anyways, I'm just gonna go and drop these bombs. Now, like, these bombs are actually very effective against light cruisers, or at least ships that having 42mm armor plating or less, because as you can see here, their penetration numbers are around 42mm, which basically means that, at least in this case, if I drop the Cleveland, which has pretty poor armor to be honest, will going to get penetrated, and I'm dropping him, even though he actually shoot down 1 tactical squadron, but still I got 4 bomb hits. Kinda unlucky to be honest, because sometimes I get like even 10 bomb hits on cruisers, which obviously will do massive damage, like at least 12-13,000 damage with a couple of fires, and that does happen. But at least Cleveland, this poor Cleveland, had pop defensive AA, and I still have torpedo bombers left. A full strike, like full 4 strikes I can do potentially on this Cleveland, and you will be able to see that how much damage that I can do with the Cleveland right now. So I'm just gonna go and drop, and you will eventually be able to find out that I will make a really insane crossfire by going through these islands, and this Cleveland might have probably not have really good idea that I'm coming for him. And as you can see, really insane arming distance combined with the fact that these torpedo bombers do like almost crazy damage. He basically turned in to dodge these torpedoes, and he will try to obviously turn out, but is it gonna be enough? Obviously not. He's trying to basically turn in to dodge some of these torpedoes, but these torpedo bombers having really good arming distance, and this poor guy actually beached around the island and he got dead within no time. Dropping torpedoes on Velos, because why not? I mean, if he basically eat a torpedo, that's a bonus. If he doesn't, I put the fighter plane on top of him, so he will get spotted. Now, Essex actually having really strong fighters. They are aggressive sort of patrol fighters. You have 9 of them instead of 7 of them. And this is one of the most unique feature for Essex, that they actually cannot spot ships beyond 2 kilometers. They can only like spot ships within 2 kilometers. And in this case, I'm actually utilizing that strength, that I'm basically spotting the Velos because my fighters are hovering around 2 kilometers. And this poor Velos definitely dead because of this feature. So I mean, and by the way, they also have really good reaction time. Like, you can just basically, if you use enhanced reaction skill on Essex, which I would highly recommend, you can actually reduce the reaction time of fighters to tag on enemy fighters from 2.5 seconds, which is already half than 5 seconds. 5 seconds is the base patrol fighter reaction. Then you will have 2.5 seconds on Essex, and on top of that, if you use the enhanced reaction, it gets down to 0.5 seconds. So if anyone on this big aura, Essex also have really big aura of the patrol fighters. So if anyone gets into it, like even like close or even just touch that circle, they will instantly tag on the fighter, and they will just do the shot down at least 9 planes. And those planes also have pretty insane HP. In total, if I'm not wrong, they have 13,000 HP of patrol fighters, which typically carriers don't have. Like, normal carriers have like 1,500 to 2,000 HP if I'm not wrong, but at least A6, I remember that value, it does have 13,000 HP on fighters. And that's like you have to shoot down for a significantly long time before you even able to shoot down all of them, which basically makes destroyers' life, a submarine life as well, pretty much a nightmare. I mean, and they cannot able to do anything. And here in this case, I'm gonna do something which is pretty much necessary. I'm gonna make a crossfire. This Minotaur is actually trying to dodge my torpedoes, and which basically gives me some value that I'm gonna drop this poor Minotaur. And look at that damage. Did some damage, but Yodo actually gets some really good value. He used the AP bombs. Oh, sorry, not AP bombs. AP, AP shells, and did pretty good damage. That he killed the Minotaur. Minotaur killed the Yodo, and this is sort of the result I wanted. Even though it's unfortunate, it's literally unfortunate that our Yodo died. And you can see it's still 3 versus 4. I also used the smoke for Yodo as a cover, and that's the reason why he survived in the first place, by the way, against Minotaur. But then obviously he runs out of the smoke, he shot the guns, he got spotted, and then Minotaur killed him, and he killed him as well. And the most hilarious thing of the Essex right now is that I have 2 buffs of these, damage in the arms race, and Smolensk have 28,000 HP right now. Yeah. 28,000 HP does not exist when 4 torpedoes hit on this poor guy. Yeah, that's arms race smooth shenanigans. This poor guy got obliterated with just 4 torpedoes. He was trying to get angled against Salem. I make a crossfire and he's dead. So, yeah, that game gets pretty close now. Now I have Alsace, and they have the Shimakaze. And by the way, that Shimakaze was playing amazing. He was actually the MVP of the enemy team. He was playing so good. But again, it's going to be a challenge to basically take down the Shimakaze. And then there is also a submarine, which is sort of a challenge because he's trying to get the cap. But there is Alsace who can actually strike him with the, airstrikes, which is pretty nice. And I'm dropping my fighter plane on Alsace so that maybe Essex with its tactical squadron didn't able to get a good hit on him, because he's my chance to basically fight against the submarine. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go and spot the Shimakaze. Now, lucky enough, very, very lucky, I spot the Shimakaze pretty much on time because he's trying to get into the cap. And well, even though these tactical rockets are pretty much not easy to, drop on destroyers, but still, he's basically kiting out. And in this case, this gives me a bit of a room, and I got a single rocket hit, which is very nice. But again, I talked multiple times about these bombs, these tactical bombs, that how much they are strong against light cruisers and aircraft carrier. Oh, sorry, not aircraft carrier, destroyers. So I'm just gonna go and drop them on top of Shimakaze, and let's see if I can actually able to even spot the submarine, which is also right there. And you can see here, I put the plane on top of him. Again, 2 kilometer spotting will eventually help me out. And the Shimakaze is pretty much close. Now he's basically out of the smoke. Probably not the best idea, because if he stays in the smoke, he would not get spotted. But he actually taken a bit of a risk. Now here in this case, I'm just gonna drop this Shimakaze with these bombs, and let's see how much I can do damage. Like 4 bomb hits, 7,000 damage, killed him pretty much like a lot with his HP. Now in this case, he actually dropped the rockets. The A6 actually dropped not the rockets. He just dropped the fighters on top of me, patrol fighters. They have 2.5 seconds of reaction time. At least he didn't build for enhanced reaction skill, which basically tagged them faster, but he didn't done that, which basically makes my escape a lot much easier. And I just spotted the Shimakaze again, and I actually got spotted and gets out of the cover, which is a bit of a mistake that I did, because this Shimakaze is actually sort of greedy right now, and he will definitely going to get paid for this, because this is something that he should not do. Like, I mean, I can understand that it's like a 50-50. If he rushes me, right, if he able to get some torpedo hits on me, he have a really good chance of killing me, and that probably is basically what makes him win the game. But I'm also here, and I'm not gonna let that happen. And look at the crossfire that I will try to make against Shimakaze. He's trying to slow down. He's trying to not eat torpedo. But again, you can see that these torpedoes are pretty good. And look at that dispersion of the torpedo bombers. You can see these torpedoes. Like, I got 2 torpedo hits, which is pretty nice. And my Alsace, which I was trying to defend with my fighters, literally killed him. The Shimakaze is actually dead. It's really nice that he's actually dead. So now we only have one thing. Essex as well as a submarine. Now Shimakaze actually managed to send some torpedoes, but I'm definitely still angled. So I only eat at least like 1 torpedo, which is okay. I mean, they also have damage buff, but I put the fighter again on top of Alsace because Alsace is actually the key sort of. I smoked him up as well so that he won't get spotted. And if he stay in the smoke, he will have a lot much more time against Essex. Because Essex will eventually kill the Alsace. That's what I know for sure. So I just give him the smoke as a cover. Again, support carrier superiority over other carriers. And then I'm started to like put the fighter plane as well. And I will also try to spot the submarine. Now, there is a submarine. And submarine is actually trying to get the cap. But since you have so many bombs in payload, look at that. I got 2 bombs. That's almost 2,500 damage, and Alsace with its AG shells finally managed to kill him, and we actually almost win the game. Now we know that they only have Essex, which is actually trying to get the buff. You can see here, he just got the buff right now in the minimap. So I know that where he is. He got spotted like in the minimap with my planes, and the only thing that I have to do is to kill the Essex. I only have 161k damage, but still, depth striking Smolensk, killing Velos, killing Shimakaze specifically, does help a lot in basically giving me the chance to win the game. And what I'm doing is, I'm trying to get Alsace into the smoke again, so that he can easily able to get into the cap, and basically contest it pretty easily. Like, I mean, if I smoke him up, A6 will probably not going to have a really good chance of doing anything. And in this case, I'm just dropping some rockets on A6. And well, you have 12 rockets in payload, and while it's an arms race mood, look at that damage. Oh my goodness, all 12 rocket hits does like 22k damage. This is like almost Nakimov levels of strike, which is obviously absolutely insane. Now A6 actually trying to not drop on Alsace, actually going for me, so I just put the plane. And we'll try to shoot down his planes because, well, that's absolutely needed. Because if he finds out, at least he will be able to kill me, that's for sure. Because I have less HP, apparently, but slightly, I mean, he has slightly less HP than me. But anyways, I mean, it's not going to be a problem. I'm just going to go and try to basically drop the A6 on the other side because he's actually get into the cover, which I have to understand. That if I get into the fighter, he will, the plane's actually going to get tagged, literally going to get tagged, which I don't want in the first place. So I basically take my time, drop this A6. Obviously, right now, what I'm doing is just basically farming some base XP, because even if I don't kill the carrier, the game is kind of over. Maybe if the Alsace dies, maybe they have more points, which is a bit of a concern, but he's healing back some of the HP. And I'm actually trying to kill the A6 because obviously if the A6 survives for too long, he might kill the Alsace, which I actually don't want to do that. So we do have 1 minute remaining with 4 torpedo hits. I did pretty massive damage again, and A6 actually playing really bad, to be honest. Like, he's not aiming, the rockets pretty, in a good way, and he actually got shot down a lot of his planes, and poor guy have no chance. Now in this case, I did a bit of a mistake, and well, I didn't actually know that where the A6 position is, so I missed the rockets. But still, I have 28 seconds, and this is going to be my last strike because I will eventually able to kill him in 20 seconds, which is pretty nice. So I'm just coming up with the bombs, and since A6 does have 30mm of deck, I'm sure that these bombs will eventually penetrate. Now, as you can see here, because of the pretty much high height altitude of these bombs, I able to spot Essex pretty much easily, and look at the bombs. I got 9 bomb hits. He didn't died with these 9 bombs, but the fire eventually killed him, which netted me 220k damage at the end. And the game is finally over. Finally. It was a really good game. And I pulled the game off by killing so many ships like Smolensk, Essex, Shimakaze, Cleveland, Velos. They were pretty much trying to pull the game off, but I also did really well in this ship and pulled this victory. So Confederate, devastating strike on the Smolensk, high caliber, which is nice, 23 torpedo hits, some floods, some fires, some kills, some defended ribbons, which is nice. And obviously the A6 value comes up when you shoot down quite a lot of planes, which does also help improving the base XP. Team score wise, 3.1k base XP. That is pretty much expected since it's an arms race mood, so damage output is also slightly higher, so you do damage more and you will get more base XP in return. And the Shimakaze, props to him, he has played amazing. But unfortunately, since there's a carry in the game, he have actually get his game impact dampened because of me and my presence. So that's pretty unfortunate, but he played really well, and at the end we pulled the game. So thank you guys for watching. Alsace also did well at the end, to be honest. Because of the Alsace, I have got enough time that we managed to pull this victory, which is nice. And you can see detailed report wise, E6 Cleveland Smolensk, 25,000 damage on the Smolensk battleship, as well as Minotaur. Like basically you're basically good against all ship classes, because bombs are good, rockets are good, and trops are good basically on everything. So I hope you liked the video, and thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section below, and I will catch you into the next one, and hopefully maybe another aircraft carrier game, or maybe some other ship class. So till then, peace out.